Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is November 18th, 2025. This is the Housing and Land Use Committee meeting. It's now 6:07 p.m. We do not have quorum, but my name is Rich Reynoso. I'm the co-chair of Housing and Land Use Committee. Juanita, if you want to introduce yourself.
Juanita Ranzel, co-chair of Housing.
All right. I don't think I have anyone else from the committee online, right? Okay.
I don't see anyone else.
Okay. So we'll get right into it. In terms of the conduct statement, you can all read that on your own. I don't expect much, any disturbances for this meeting. Review of meeting minutes. So, Jeremy, I forwarded to you the minutes that Juanita drafted up for October. Just take a look at it when you can. Maybe we can get that voted on next meeting.
Yeah, in the meantime, do you want to make mention of what came up last night in terms of what qualifies as meeting minutes?
Yes, exactly. So subsection 104 of the open meetings law, we took some time yesterday during the bylaws committee meeting to review it. And we came to the conclusion as a, I would say as a committee, that, the live stream does count as minutes. But we will also try to get the transcript as a backup. But if anyone ever needs minutes per the open meetings law, and we can discuss this at leadership or at full board, we're not going to discuss it here. But per the open meetings law, our YouTube video recorded meetings does count as minutes. I think what we're trying to do is have the video and the backup transcripts. You heard the transcript noise as Jeremy hit it at the beginning of this meeting, which we're going to try to have both, but the video counts as minutes for our interpretation of the OML reading. Okay, so we have minutes from October. We're going to get them into the record, but we can also look back at the video, and that would be our minutes as well. Okay. All right. Okay.
If you want me to add, Rich, to that,
yeah, please. Yeah, go for it.
So this is also the opinion of the city law department. Unabridged, it's unabridged video recordings. That's the qualifier, unabridged.
Yes, exactly. And we'll go through it again at leadership if folks want to talk about it, but we think this is the right definition for minutes. Okay, moving on. 2280-2300 Olinville Avenue. I'm just gonna pop up. Actually, Ms. Finch, since you're on, do you want to talk about this for a quick second?
Sure. For a quick second.
You brought it to my attention, so I figured you could.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And hopefully Hazel Mira will be able to join us. She's going to try tonight. So 2280 Olinville is an 11-story building, and 2300 Olinville, right next door, they share a little courtyard, is a 21-story building. So they're large buildings. And I just happened to notice a couple weeks ago an article in Crain's saying that the owner, Pinnacle, which is a big landlord throughout New York City, had defaulted on a $33 million mortgage on the two buildings, which are one property together, and was going to try to get the loan resurfaced, and they also had a collection of buildings in Brooklyn that they were filing bankruptcy for, and that would then be put up for auction. So
And that's your screen. This is the article you're talking about.
Yes.
So this is the 2280-2300 Olinville.
Right.
So since we last spoke a couple weeks ago, have you heard anything from the occupants, from the tenants?
Well, we made it this topic of our last Bronx Park East Community Association meeting, and for a lot of tenants, of which I'm one, it was really connecting the dots because we had noticed over the last several years that maintenance was just going down and down, and scaffolding went up around the building, but nobody seemed to know why it was there, and no further repairs were being done. And people would move out, and then the apartments would just stay vacant, for as long as a year. Um, so, sort of putting two and two together, this defaulting on the mortgage seems to be the reason why. And it seems like it's a citywide issue that a lot of these landlords, they're playing investment games with the money from the properties, and they're not really interested in maintaining their properties as rentals. They're more interested in investment and speculation. And at the same time that they're filing for bankruptcy, they're buying new properties. And they all are claiming that it's because of rent stabilization. They can't afford to maintain the buildings because the rents are being forcefully kept too low. But we think that that's really kind of a scam. It's kind of an excuse that if they really did want to maintain the buildings properly and just be landlords instead of investors, they could do that.
Um,
And then
Do-
we
go
also
ahead.
have a problem with a local business, a car repair business, where the landlord, they had like I think it was a 20-year lease, something really, really long, and it came to an end. And then the landlord said, well, we're going to give you a month-to-month lease now because we own several properties in this area. We want to get them all on the same schedule. So through the end of the year, it'll be month to month. And then they said, well, we think we're going to develop the property. It's as of right, we can do this. We're going to build residential here. So you may have to move. And then it emerges that these landlords are people who filed a lawsuit to try to overturn rent stabilization laws
Do
in
you
New
know the
York City.
address, of where this possible building may pop up at?
It's on Boston Road and Wallace,
Boston.
corner of Boston Road and Wallace.
Okay, and we
But
can.
it would be within the, it's not a ULURP, I don't think.
Yeah, but we can still add ZOB about
It
it.
would be within the zoning, right?
Yeah, we can
So
still ZOB on it.
it just all seems as though there's a big war brewing
Yeah,
between large landlords and rent stabilized tenants.
okay.
And Hazel Mura, actually through NIDC, she led an action against Pinnacle when they first bought these buildings, I think in the early 2000s, and were overcharging for rents. And she led a fight against them to get the rents rolled back and expose what they were doing successfully.
So I think what we'll do is so if she doesn't join, then we'll ask her for her email update since she's probably doing some work behind the scenes. But do let us know if you hear anything more.
Yeah, the next step, the two things that we're doing are one, to get everyone to, and this really should be, I think, district wide. When people have complaints and repair issues, either in their own apartment or in the common areas, not to just call management about it, but to also report it as a 311. Because we've seen that it worked, and it worked in our building, that the buildings department or the HPD inspectors start showing up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So to really use 311, and then also to send the 311 complaint numbers to our city council person. And for
Mhm.
2280, 2300, it's Oswald Feliz. And he came to our meeting. Oh, he didn't come, but he had someone from his staff come. So they're all on board with really trying to document this and figure out the extent of the problem and the disrepair. And then the next step would be to get a meeting with a representative from Pinnacle, not
Okay.
from the management company, because they're really just a go-between, but from the landlord.
Yeah, from the folks, actually, the owners, not the folks managing.
Right.
Okay, okay, cool. I mean, if you let us know if you're hosting that, then maybe we
Okay.
can come to you guys, or if not, you let us know what to do. We'll go to your meeting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Thanks a lot for,
Yeah, yeah. We'll take housing to be Pekka.
yeah.
Cool. Let's move on because I have till 7 before leadership starts. So up next, Juanita, did you get well, I just sent you an email, Juanita. It's regarding 2560 Boston Road. If you could share your screen, I don't know if you're on your computer.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, take your time. So just some updates, everyone. There is some happenings with 2560. I believe they're gonna go through the ULURP process again. Yes, they are. And we're gonna read the letter together here. So, they were supposed to come to this meeting, but they didn't have availability. So they're gonna plan to come in December, but Juanita's gonna pop up the letter that they sent to Cynthia early in October, mid-October. And we can review it together. But they're pretty much it's
Hold on, let
looking.
me share my screen.
And we'll read it.
Hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Can you guys see it?
Let me see. No.
Wait, hold on.
Can you share? Make present. Hold on. Maybe make presenter. Go ahead. See if you can share.
See. What about now?
I don't see. Do you see? I don't see anything. Okay. Let me see.
I see it.
If I make you the presenter, you can share.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it says make sure I'm allowed to share.
Okay. Let me see if I could do this. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make you. All right, I'm gonna try to pop it up because I think I need Jeremy. I think he stepped away.
Oh, to make me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'll read the letter, and then when Jeremy comes back, I'll pop it on the screen. So, it's addressed to Cynthia Rodriguez, 2560 Boston Road program changes, ULURP changes. Dear Community Board 11, we are sending this letter to update the board. There you go.
Can you see it now? Okay.
Perfect. All right.
Oh,
All right. So, yeah, I'll read it. We are sending this letter to update the board on changes to the development at 2560 Boston Road, which underwent a ULURP in 2023. On March 9th, 2023, CB 11 issued a letter attached. I think it's another letter disapproving the rezoning application and requested that the project include a higher percentage of lower income residents, and parking should be made available to all residents, not just those with higher incomes. Our proposed changes to the project include increasing residential parking for all residents and significantly increasing the number of lower income units. All right. In lieu of utilizing NYC's HPD program for mixed income programs called Mix and Match, where units are affordable to households carrying up to 120 of AMI, area median income, we are proposing to utilize HPD's extremely low and low income ELLA program. All units are proposed at rents affordable to households earning up to 80 of AML, which is pretty good. With the overwhelming majority below 60 AML, which is great. So that means below the area median income, so 60 below that. So it depends obviously where your AMI is at, but that's good news. Usually when we deal with these folks, it's at 120, 110, 150. So anything below 100, it's affordable. Moving on. Moreover, the recent passage, which is so interesting about this letter, the recent passage of City of Yes has allowed 2560 Boston Road to increase the amount of affordable housing units. We are pleased that Bronx Works will be the on-site supportive services provider. Since 1972, Bronx Works helps individuals and families improve their economic and social well-being. Bronx Works is a multi-service agency that operates an array of programs in the Bronx. We look forward to this partnership to deliver results for all future residents. In addition to the lower rents, there are several other key changes we want to highlight. More affordable housing, number of units increased from 333 units to 483. That's a plus 100 more units that are affordable. That's great. The fine fare, larger supermarket. The supermarket increased from 15,000 square foot to over 27,000 square feet, including 22,000 square feet on grade. Parking availability. The 65 residential parking spaces will be available to residents on a first come, first served basis. Total parking with commercial is 108 spaces. That's pretty good. They're still working with HPD to finalize AMI bands and the Department of City Planning, pending City of Yes initiative may require further changes. We are committed to keeping you informed of any changes. So this took us a bit by surprise. They just sent us this over the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure when Cynthia received it. They were supposed to come today, but to talk about this, but they weren't able to. Again, they're gonna come next month, but I think what we're hearing is more affordable housing units, bigger parking. So I think all good news. Obviously, we're gonna have more questions when they come, but I think it's positive. Okay.
Yep.
I'll move on. If you guys wanna, we're gonna make this interactive. If guys have questions, you just pop in. I'm not gonna wait till gallery session, to be honest. So if you have any questions, let me know.
I
Yeah,
have a
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead. Mhm.
What does it mean that Bronx Works is going to be the supportive services provider?
I don't know, to be honest.
Like, does that mean that there's going to be that some of the housing there will be supportive housing? Or does it mean that Bronx Works is going to be opening an office there?
No idea, to be honest with you, Diana.
That's a
think
good
what
question.
Yeah, no, I agree, because even with the reading of the AMI, just because it's under 60, does it mean 0? Does it mean 10? That's why we want to get them here. They just let us know this. And obviously that letter is crafted very interestingly. So it just seems all good. And everything in life, it's too good to be true sometimes. So I think when they do come, they need to come to us first for us to pass it. They're gonna get money from HPD. So this is one of those we can ask them questions. So definitely bring that up when they come next month. Okay?
I'm sorry, did you acknowledge me?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, you can.
Thank you so much. I think I need more than 2 minutes.
No, I mean, I'm not even doing 2 minutes. We're just chatting. So if you want to talk about something.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
First thing is, this was 2560 Boston.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm so glad to hear about the changes because, it was very concerning for a very long time. And I'm glad that people out there are finally beginning to understand that you can't do the higher AMI levels. You have so many different levels of people and their incomes in these communities now. There's so much change, that you have to include everybody. It's not inclusive if it's only people like 60,000 or 90,000 a year or over. This is much more inclusive, and I'm so happy to hear this. The other thing is Bronx Works. I did interact with them some years ago when I was homeless and stuff. And whereas I'm not really trainable for a lot of today's professions, they did really try to help me. They did help me get Medicaid, SNAP. They weren't able to help me with housing. I was able to figure that out on my own and stuff, but they're a good group.
Okay.
And as far as if they're going to do supportive stuff, I would think, Diana, yeah, they probably would have an office there or like somewhere nearby, hopefully, that people can interact with them. And then my last question is, since it's more affordable, will they be doing anything to help veterans, seniors, and survivors of domestic violence in terms of a supportive and hopefully permanent housing? Because these are big issues in this community.
That's great. Those are great comments, Kay. When they do, I'll make a note to ask them, but when they do come to present to us, please ask them the same questions in terms of veterans, seniors, and DV victims.
Excellent. I'll try to be more on time.
No, no, you're good. You're here today,
Next-
so
Next time,
we're
I
talking
didn't
to see.
tune in until like 6:19 because I'm running late today.
No
And the
worries.
last thing I wanted to bring up was, okay, I received a letter yesterday. Earlier this year, I signed up with Health First with Medicare, Medicaid. I'm considered dual eligible because I'm low income, even though I'm a working senior on Social Security. And I got the OTC benefit, which I never had before. I've had it for like 3-4 months now. I received a letter yesterday that due to the big beautiful bill, I now have to recertify, which I didn't have to certify before. It was only based on income. And they're looking for chronic conditions, which I have. I'm pretty sure I will be able to keep my OTC, but I spoke to Health First today and they said there's no guarantees and you have to get the paperwork done quickly because there's a cutoff in the end of December. So this is just really ridiculous. I have more than one doctor for more than one condition. I have to run to each of them, and get paperwork and submit and just hope and pray that I don't lose the OTC benefit. I can't use it for rent because I'm in a private house, but it has helped me so much. With things that when the SNAP benefits weren't there, I was able to buy food. I buy over the counter stuff. It's such a godsend for me. I called Christie's office today. They didn't seem all that, oh, well, it's just a recertification process. I'm like, you don't seem to understand. Lower income seniors are being targeted, and then we have to recertify for SNAP soon too, according to the big, beautiful bill. And so I called the assembly person's office. They're more in tune with the needs of the community in terms of the lower income folks, so they're aware. I reached out to someone I know in the press, and he's going to be doing some research to get the word out there because I don't want seniors getting blindsided. I reached out to people I know. They don't know anything about it. I told them you better start calling your doctors and figuring.
Everyone, can you guys hear me?
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
I'm sorry. I'll be
Okay.
quiet. now.
It's okay. We'll bring this up Thursday at the full board.
Ken, I got stuck in Jersey.
It's okay. No worries.
Got a
Oral.
job site.
Okay. You can hear us now.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll bring it up Thursday, Kay, and let others know because that could be happening to other people. Juanita, you had a comment?
yeah, sorry. I wanted to go back to the Boston Road
Yep. Go for it.
situation. I do want to ask them what made them switch from 333 apartments to 400 because that sounds like they made the apartments smaller to
Yeah.
make more apartments. So I do want to ask that question whenever they come. I definitely agree with Diane on asking why would Works be a part of this?
Yeah. Bronx Works. Yeah. What's their role there, you mean? Yeah. Okay. Moving on to 2910 Wallace Avenue. I admittedly don't have any news on this property. Juanita, have you heard anything on your end of the world for this?
I haven't heard anything since the last meeting, no.
So from my understanding, they're still displaced and they're still living in shelters. I think. Let me look up real quick.
Excuse me,
Yeah, go ahead.
how long it's gonna be,
Jeremy, are you there? Just curious. If not, it's okay. We'll come back to you, and I'll ask her in leadership. But you know, last update I got was in September 12th. You know, see below. Yeah, we'll bring this up again at full board, but you know, we don't want to lose track of the folks who lost their homes due to this fire last year.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep having this as a bookmark in an agenda. So more to come on 2910.
Wallace Avenue, yeah.
Wallace Avenue, yes, fire. Okay, next, Department of Buildings Town Hall. So, the Department of Buildings, we're trying to get them to come here, but
Sorry,
it's
I got
okay.
kicked out.
Okay, so what's the latest you heard on 2910?
Good, good.
For me?
Yeah, I mean, anything, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't have any updates since the last meeting. I haven't
Okay.
heard anything.
What we'll do is, let's try to get answers for Thursday. Since Thursday is the full board.
Okay.
Okay. So the Department of Buildings Town Hall, well, we're trying to get them here after hours, but they won't. So what we're gonna do is, I think Juanita, myself, whoever can make it sometime in the future, no pressure. We're gonna try to get them in the office. Maybe Jeremy could do it for us. I know we all have jobs and stuff. We're gonna try to get Jeremy to ask the Department of Buildings rep questions from our behalf, from Housing and Land Use and the board, and have them answer it. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening in the community in terms of demolitions, constructions, buildings that are as of right, buildings that are with HPD financing. You know, obviously the HPD buildings are HPD, but there's a lot of things happening that we don't know about. And they did say they would come here, but it would have to be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I think what we're gonna try to do is get them here before the end of the year and just ask them.
Next month,
Yeah,
2910, they're on shelter still.
yeah, okay, so there you go. Harry just verified, called his contact. They're still in shelters.
They didn't get an apartment yet, or they have to find their own apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
So they have to find their own apartments. What a shit show.
Either staying with relatives, or they're still in shelters.
Okay, well, yeah, he just called and asked. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's Thursday, put the pressure on the electeds when they have the reps there, because that's what we want to do this.
Yes.
There has to be a way to get these people into some sort of housing. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's terrible. Okay, all right. So just the town hall again, we're gonna try next month to get DOB here so we can just get some answers for things happening in the community. Any comments, questions on any of that? All right. We're gonna open it up to the gallery session. I mean, I think everybody spoke, but anyone has anything to say? Going once?
It's Kay. May I speak again, please?
Yes, you may, Kate.
Thank you so much for acknowledging me. Yeah, this
Sure.
is just absolutely heartbreaking. We, in the last several years, have had a few horrendous fires here in this borough. And there was a lady that spoke at an ABBA meeting, which is Allenton Barnes Block Association, a few months ago. And she experienced a fire several years ago in a Bronx building. It took her years, with a master's degree in a good profession, took her years to get her credit and everything. She lived in shelters, okay, until she could find someone that would rent to her. This could be the same fate for any of the more recent fires. The terrible one that was, it was called Park something, was it on Park Avenue? It was people mostly from one of the African countries that they were using heaters to stay warm because they weren't getting heat. The
Yeah, I
fire
remember that
doors
one.
weren't working correctly. Some of
Yeah.
these people are still not housed. And this is what, 3-4 years down the road? Since I think January or something, or February will be 3 or 4 years. And we can't have this. We cannot have these individuals and families lingering in the system or leaving New York because they can't, find a decent place to live. We have to find some sort of incentive for managements and LLCs or even private homeowners to reach out to these people and get them housed, because this is shameful. It is shameful in a city like New York. to have people lingering. I know what it is to be homeless. I've been homeless more than once, and it wasn't due to fire. It was due to crime that I survived. And
So
so,
you're right. No, I completely agree with you, because why is it that HPD has these lotteries, but the folks who are in shelters who are victims of fire is not at the top of the list, for example? And I'm not saying, screw the people who did the lotteries, but the folks who are in these shelters because of fire should have the first right to get these lottery apartments. There's a bunch of apartments around us.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world, I know. But like there's a bunch of empty, nice new buildings around us, and that are HPD, right? So why doesn't HPD just put them folks there? So I think we should ask them.
Well, it's not that simple.
Well,
It
why
really
not?
isn't simple.
Why not?
Because of what they have to do to verify, and there's a waiting list of people with children, people with babies.
Yeah.
Even though we have folks that are out of their home with a fire, there's a waiting list of people who've been waiting in shelters who also have a great need. So now you're going to make you're going to start setting a precedence where you're saying that, okay, all the people, whether they're single, whether they're, a male, whatever it is, have precedence over a family that is looking for an apartment. So there's a lot of issues you have to look at. You just can't make a precedent in saying that, people with fires should have number one priority. Maybe it's not that simple.
No,
I just don't think things are that simple to do.
No, I know you're right. No, after you vocalize it, you're right. There's folks who've been waiting for years in the system. Go ahead, Juanita.
Yeah, and some have children, babies, and then there's a guy, maybe a single guy who was in the fire. You're saying that he has precedence over a family? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I do
Makes
agree
sense.
with you, Oral. It's not that simple, but I do remember somewhere probably in the 90s where a fire happened in a whole building, Stratford Avenue, and everyone that was located moved to NYCHA development
Yep.
up here in Eastchester Gardens.
Mhm.
So, and I know things have changed since then, but what we're
Lot.
trying to say is, at least some of them still coming back to the community, because again, right across the street on Wallace Avenue is 2 brand new buildings being built. It's about
know.
7 buildings in the community,
Yeah, but you have
being
to
built up.
understand. Yeah, but we're in a capitalist society,
Yeah,
and then
Okay.
so it's not as easy as, we're not in a where you go, okay, fine, you have a home. They have to do a background check. Is this person, will he be able to afford the building? Remember now, with a building comes services, right? You have electrical, gas, sewage, water. So all these developers or owners of these buildings have to pay for that, right? The city's not going to subsidize that. Maybe on the Mandani, maybe they will, but right now they're not being subsidized by anything. So they're depending on the rents or the federal government to subsidize some of that money to pay for the gas, the water, the electricity, all that. You have to have that maintenance of the building. Who's going to pay for the maintenance people coming in? If a ceiling falls in, who's going to repair that? They need funding for that.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as
Yeah.
it's
No.
not,
No,
because
you're right. No, Harry, you had something.
There's about 6,000 empty NYCHA apartments right now in New York
Yes.
City.
Yes.
Why they're filling those apartments? Well, I want to know what the plan for them is for those 6,000 apartments.
Some of them
I
have
know
been
there
empty for
are
years.
6,000 empty. I work for the city too, so I understand what's
Six
going on
thousand,
too.
6,000
Some
apartments.
of those units have lead
Some
paint.
have been empty for
Some of those units
years.
are not ready because of what how NYCHA buildings were built and designed. They have to update some of those NYCHA buildings. You don't know behind the scenes things that are going on, but I do. And some buildings, remember, NYCHA had a big issue with lead.
No, they did, but I think it's cheaper to keep them empty than renting them out. And I mean, it's
I
cheaper to
don't know
keep them
about that.
empty.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case.
It's
But
cheap.
let's find. Let's
Yeah, no, and
let's
that's
dig-
exactly. I don't know. Yeah, that's what we're talking about for sure.
So a Bain apartment, how much is it? This costs a lot of money to abate an apartment, right?
Oh, he's right, man. So no, yeah. Go ahead.
So to do an abatement on an apartment, it costs a lot of money, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it can. Yes,
Hundreds of thousands.
Absolutely.
6,000 apartments at that much money, so they probably listen to rent them.
Mm,
It can be 100,000 a room or more.
that's
Yes.
interesting.
6,000
Okay.
What?
times 6,000.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to renovate those. Some of those don't have even working plumbing, working bathrooms.
Yeah. So I think no, what we're saying is we're not the ones who are gonna solve this, but we could bring it up to the attention to those who can set policy.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think
Absolutely.
these are all the points. Like you're right. I mean, I was thinking with my heart, but you're right. These folks have been waiting for like years, blah, blah, blah. You're right. But we gotta bring this up on Thursday. And keep bringing this up. And that's why I'm never moving this thing from this agenda, this 2910, because for them to still be in shelters is crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, nuts. Anybody else have any open items before I move on? So come to the meeting Thursday, folks. We're gonna press folks about the 2910. Look out for next month to have the 2560 Boston Road Fine Fair presentation from HPD folks. And we're gonna find out more through the community. I think Dinah Finch is gonna maybe let us know any updates on the bankruptcy from that big building on Olinville Ave. 2280, correct, right. So, and I agree, I think landlords are just walking away from buildings and they're not even fixing them. And I think that's a perverse kind of thing they're doing now. Okay, motions, there are none. Any old business, Juanita, oral?
No.
Oh, no, not right now. But this is a good discussion, and I think we could take it further. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, good. Any new business? I don't have anything new. Again, I think we'll bring up those same topics we talked about earlier at the next meeting. All right?
Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned at 6:45 PM. See you guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
We'll be here for the 7 o'clock leadership, all right? Talk soon.
Okay.
Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Great
Bye.
job. Great job as usual.
Yep, good